Alrighty guys, what is up? Welcome back to Factorio with LD7, and today we are going to be setting up a blue belt factory. So what I'm using to kind of calculate this out, there's a really good Factorio calculator that you can use. Basically, you can specify what kind of factories you've got, what kind of belts you want to use, what kind of oil processing, all that kind of noise. And you select the item you want to make, you say how many factories you want to have building that, and it will tell you all the prerequisite materials. So to build a constantly running blue belt factory that's producing 90 per minute on the blue belts, I need to set up 100, or well, I guess technically speaking it's 95 iron mining drills. And then I also need to set up 76 iron electric furnaces in order to generate the iron we're going to need to get that running. So I am going to see if we can't potentially utilize this iron deposit right here, because the next closest one is pretty far away, all things considered. So I mean, I guess technically speaking, like, you don't have to match the numbers perfectly, but if you don't, basically what ends up happening is you're going to run out of the resources you need. So I am going to try to do this as best I can and see kind of where we end up. So I need to leave that open, I guess, in order to have a route for the belt. So, and then I need a spot open there so we can power these drills. So between these three, we've got 45 iron drills. We just placed down manually 4, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15 more. We might be able to squeeze out 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Something like that might work. Let's go ahead and try to get these tracks placed and just kind of see how this is shaping up. So a lot of iron, more or less, and that's because you need a fair amount of iron gear wheels in order to build the tracks, because basically the way blue tracks work, it's kind of like the red tracks, where you have to build out the you have to build red tracks to upgrade to blues, but then it takes iron gear wheels and such in order to run from that. So I guess that kind of works. So I'm just trying to hook up all the other drills that we've got here, because we're going to need all this iron, more or less. So this needs to go like that, maybe. Okay. And then I guess we'll put that one on this, or well, I'd actually prefer to have it on this belt. We'll throw a splitter right here so those two combine. And then I think that's all the blueprinted ones in one spot. Now we just need to hook up these two, and I guess we can just have them feeding in from the right. And this is roughly half of what we need, I think. I'm going to build another robot board out here, so this is in range, and the robots will finish building that blueprint for us. So let's power this. If I can get over there. Power it. And I think that'll give it range so they can finish connecting up these ones too. That track can be broken because there's no drills there. Is there a track there? No, doesn't really look like it. Alright, whatever. We'll just make sure that they're all running. So we've got 3 times 15 is 45, and then I think I placed another 20, so that's like 60. We probably have about 60 drills on that iron ore. Next, we need to set up a smeltery for them. We're going to use electric furnaces. I think so. On the purple factory over here, We have electric furnaces being built in order to create the purple science packs for us, right? So I did add a buffer chest to that factory that collects the purple, or not the purple, the electric furnaces at the end. That way, once it runs through everything, it's ready to go. So I'm just going to come over here and see how many we've got, because we need to have 76 electric furnaces to make this work. And if we can place all the furnaces, even if they're not running the entire time, it should be okay. So like, let's just see. So I've got 17 in here right now. So not a whole hell of a lot, in all honesty. Electric furnaces are built with steel, stone bricks, and advanced circuits. So really, I guess what we're lacking is the stone brick. Stone brick and steel is pretty easy to make. So like, we've got a fair amount of stone drills right here. There is another stone up above, so I could potentially like set up a electric furnace factory too. Probably would be a good idea. So let's go ahead and do that real quick, I guess. So let's take, I don't know, like 2 of these maybe. Should be enough. I'm just gonna manually connect this. And actually, I am gonna put those through a splitter, because they're both 15, so this should fill the belt all the way. We need to build stone brick, so I can use those furnaces that I have to make that. And I should have a fair amount of steel chilling somewhere. So let's go ahead and just set up a few of these. So 6 and 6 maybe. It's 12 making stone brick. Like, that's a fair amount of stone brick being built right there, I would think, anyway. We'll see if that's enough. Like, I want to build maybe 2 blue machines making the electric furnaces for us, because it does help out a lot, just because then you don't have to fuck with finding coal and routing that into your smeltery setup and all that noise. So doing this should be pretty good for us. Let's go ahead and just send this down, and then we'll have the second one, and we'll just build it off to the right, I think. So this will have all the bricks on the outside, that'll put it on the inside, so there we go, that'll be a full belt of bricks. Not too bad. We do need to power it, obviously, but that's pretty easy. You can just place one of these guys, put one in, like right there, so that'll connect. I do want to bring up the power to the drills as well, and there probably needs to be one like, or actually no, it looks like those connect automatically. Cool. So let's do that. I want to build a roboport up here, so we have coverage, and they'll come up and start building these mines for us, more or less. So there's that. Cool. Go ahead and get all these powered up, and we should be pretty good on power. So last time when we ended, we were kind of screwed on power, like we had run out of coal and all that, so we were kind of struggling there. What I ended up doing in order to deal with that is I went ahead and set up a couple factories making solar panels, and then since I'm playing with compact power or compact solars, I can upgrade these. So I only set it up to go to tier 2 because going to tier 3 will require red circuits, which I didn't want to set up a factory for, really. So I've got these blueprints here. So I've got a pack of solar panels and a pack of just basic accumulators. So this makes almost 6 megawatts of power. This makes about 2.5. So I have it for both. And basically I've just kind of plonked those around to get things set up. So if we take a look, we can generate up to 552 megawatts. We've got 5.6 gigawatts worth of storage. So we should be looking pretty good, all things considered, on power and stuff like that. So I'm not too worried about that aspect of it. We'll kind of see what ends up happening here, I guess. So what I need to do is pull off some iron so we can feed that into a steel setup. So I am just going to pull it from here, I think. we'll just run it like this. And yeah, it's not the best idea to kind of do this, but I think this smeltery right here is making so much fucking iron that it shouldn't really matter all too much. This steel factory needs more iron ore. It's kind of the limiter right there, so that's fine. I'm not too worried about it. We're not even gonna mess with it. So I'm just gonna run this up like this, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna use electric furnaces. So I only have 5 in my hand. What am I missing for these? Red circuits is kind of what it looks like. So I'm gonna go pick some red circuits off of this belt real fast, so we can build a few more. Just because it would be nice to get a few set up at least. Grab some steel, grab some stone brick, because I need those too. Okay, so now we can build another 8. So like, let's set up 10 to make the steel. That's probably enough, in all honesty. Like, we don't need a whole lot because this is just making the furnaces, but I want to make sure that it's got enough resources to be able to run, more or less. And I figure I might as well do the steel here and just belt the steel up as opposed to belting up the iron plates and doing it closer, because, you know, you're going to take the same number of belts, more or less. So anyway, that's just my thought on it. Actually, I did those backwards. Fuck. Okay, fine. It doesn't necessarily matter. It's just I've got one more furnace to place, so there we go. Put these and these and these and these and these. Cool. So these will produce steel. I just have to power it. Not a big deal. I just want to lay down the track. There's that. Okay. So I guess let's give this some power. It is kind of annoying with these because the furnaces are slightly too big. You can't use the medium poles and get both sides of the belt, but that's alright. Not the end of the world. So hooked up, there we go. That'll start making us some steel. Great. And the only other thing we need to build these is advanced circuits. So for advanced circuits, kind of what we're going to end up doing is we're going to build, we can probably use this iron that's right here, but I need some copper to make cables. So let's set up like 6 maybe. I don't need a lot of red circuits. I do need a few though, so we'll try that. And I am out of fast inserters. My robots haven't come to refill me yet, but I would think that they're on their way. Maybe. Maybe not. Let's go just grab some from the logistics factory over here. Actually, I can't go through that way. Alright, we'll stand right here. These have some inserters with them and some tracks. So there we go. We got our inserters back. That's the main thing. The rest of this stuff I'm not too worried about, but might as well wait here for them so they can refill me all the way before we run back over. So here we go. Cool. So get a few copper cables built, and we're going to need some to go in to build green circuits, which will be right there, and then we'll need the rest to build the red circuits, which will be right there. I think that ratio should be pretty good. Like, it's not going to be optimal by any stretch, but that's okay. I don't necessarily need it optimal, I just need it to function. So there's that. I think we'll probably set up like maybe 2 green circuits, something like that, and that should do okay. Like I said, I don't need a whole lot of reds. I just need enough to be able to build these furnaces. So we need green circuits. That's easy enough. I do need to throw iron onto that belt, so we'll just split it right here and run that over. Should be okay. Like, I think that smeltery is producing way more iron than the Purple Science Factory actually needs. So what I'm going to do is run it up and put it on the other side of this belt. And then I've got iron and the cables right where I need them, and I don't have to worry about it. So there's that. Green circuits are being made. And then let's just double check the red circuit recipe. So I need copper cables, which are right here. We need, and actually I should flip this belt around now that I'm looking at it. So those are right there, and I can actually do this and set it up kind of like this. And there we go. So we got copper cables and greens all in one spot, and then I just need to pull some plastic from somewhere. So I think I've got, yeah, I've got hydro, or this is all you need. You need this and coal to make plastic, so it's a pretty simple recipe. But let's try to do this. I'm gonna try to split off some of this. I don't actually know where is gonna be the best to kind of pipe this, but I'd like to set up the chem plants over by where we're building the circuits if I can. And you don't need a lot of plastic either. You just need enough. So what we could potentially do is we can just filter inserter right here, some coal off of this belt to run the chem plant and make us our plastic. So I think one is actually going to be plenty. So maybe what we'll do is we'll just set this so it can manually, like, just put it directly into the factory. So coal, cool, plastic, cool, and we'll just run a little pipe like that. It does need power, and then what I can try to do is place a belt like right here for the plastic. Just feed that straight up like so, and that should work pretty damn good. We can move the power pole like that, and what we'll do is we will run this belt right in parallel with this one, and we'll use long arms to put in the plastic. So let's go ahead. I think we should be able to run like 2 of these maybe, is kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know, we might be able to do more than that, but let's just start with 2 and kind of see how that works. We can break that track for now. Gotta power this stuff. And red circuits. Okay, so now we're making the red circuits we need. We've got the steel that we need. So basically we just need to bring the steel and the stone bricks over and we'll be ready to go. So I think what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna place the furnace factory right over here. And you know what? We're gonna try to run 2 of them and just kind of see how that goes. I'm thinking that we're gonna have enough materials, like I'm hoping anyway. So that will be for the steel and stone because it needs more of those than the red circuits, and then we'll run reds right here with long arms. Have our blues like this. Okay, so there's that. So it's getting the red circuits that it needs. Now let's just bring in the steel and the stone. So steel's there, stone should be up here as well, and then we'll just put those into a chest more or less so we can use it to, so we can have the robots auto build is kind of what I'm thinking. So I actually don't need this to go up this far. I'm actually just going to build it right across like this, and we'll do something like this. So we'll have steel on that side, and then we'll put the stone in right there. Yeah, this isn't the most compact thing in the world, but it should be functional. So there we go, stone bricks, steel. And then all I gotta do is put this belt going in right here, and that should make us our furnaces. I think what I'm gonna do, we'll just set it up so it outputs to a belt, I suppose. And we'll just have that belt go down like this. And then we'll throw one more inserter to put it into a passive provider chest. And that is out of RoboPort range, so we do need one more RoboPort, but easy enough, there's our RoboPort. So cool. Now we've got electric furnaces being built that we can utilize for this. I think what I am going to do is set up 2 more red circuit factories, just because it seems like that is a limiting factor at the moment. So let's just extend that down a little bit. And I think it'll be able to handle this, in all honesty. Like, I don't think we're gonna run into too many issues. But there's that. And then we'll throw our 2 up there to output. And I mean, I could put like speed modules in on these and that would help speed things up a little bit, but I'm not too worried about it. That I didn't want to throw away the iron. I just wanted to get rid of the ore. Anyway, so there we go. So we're getting some, like we already have 7 built, so that's great. Now I can go up and actually start building the blue belt factory. So yeah, we didn't get to the blue belts this time, but instead we set up a nice little semi-compact electric furnace factory. So that's good enough for me. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, comment, subscribe as always, and until next time, this has been LD7, and we will see ya.